Alright guys, what up? It's me, Gaming Guy TV here. Now bear with me a minute, I'm trying to get the answers to the puzzles up on my phone. It's 3:11 p.m. right now. A lot of you guys are probably wondering, wait, why aren't you at school? Well, I've got an answer for you. We had a snow day today. Yes, you heard me, snow day. In the middle of December, when it's not even winter. It apparently got cold enough. So, I'm here. Let's see. We were in Keep. Let's try the Bay, if that's a thing. It's not. Swamp. Yeah. So, I have no idea what our next puzzle in this game actually is. So, I'm just going to go ahead and walk around, try to figure out what to do next. Let's get them there somehow. It's certainly not the area I was planning on coming to. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not that. Hang on, guys. I, again, do not have the thing up there. Because I want you guys to be able to enjoy it, you know. Possible we're in shipwreck? That doesn't show up on here, so... I'm trying to figure out what exactly this area is called. So, anyway guys, yes, I am off school today, which is the reason why you guys are getting a video from me. I was gaming with Max Dark Hunter for a while. So I'm now making this video for you guys. So, yeah. You guys get another video. So, 2 out of 3 of my school's robotics teams competed this weekend. I am on one of them. Okay, this is the monastery. Right. Okay. So, the FLL team competed. That is First Lego League. And they advanced to states. They won first in core values and competed to state and made it to states. Which is really good because this was their first year doing it. So, yeah. My friend and I ended up mentoring them. So, we were extremely happy that they made it. And then the second team that competed was the FTC team, which I am on. Now, I had done FLO 4 years prior to this. For 4 years before this. So it was certainly a much different competition than I expected. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. With FLL, there's 3 judgings. There's the research project. The topic of that is very broad at the beginning of the season. Then you have to work to narrow down what problem you want to solve and come up with a solution. With FTC, then there's robot design, which is the design of your robot, what it can do, how efficient is it, how big is it, how small is it, do you have a design process? And then there's core values, which is how well do you work as a team? You know, does everybody get to do what they want? Does everybody have a role? Stuff like that. With FTC, there is 1 judging, which covers, you know, the design of your robot. There's no research project, but it covers core values too. And the FTC competition was much more fun than the FLL competition, and also about 1,000,000 times more stressful. Now, the reason for this is, it's a different kind of stress. The reason it's more fun is because there's only 1 judging. The stress is because it is all very hectic. You know, we came into this not liking our odds. We ended up placing 10th, but got close to being in the finals. We did not make it to states. We didn't even win an award, just a disclaimer. But the reason why it's so fundamentally different is, in FLL, they're 2.5-minute rounds, but they don't queue you up until the match before, and it takes a lot less time to fix something. And because, I don't know why, but everything was sort of quicker here. Our first match, we competed 3 times before lunch in qualifying rounds, and then 2 times after lunch in qualifying rounds. Now, the before lunch rounds were quite... It's hectic. Because we came in, our autonomous wasn't quite working on one side, and our hook wasn't working, which screwed our entire autonomous. So the first round we got 16 points just out of putting blocks on the platform. But we came back and had about 3 minutes before the next round. So the reason why it is so stressful is because we had about 10 minutes there. But sometimes we would get off the playing field and have to queue right back up, and I'll explain what we did with that situation in a minute. But it was a lot more stressful because after each round there was always something wrong. One round the hook came off. That was the round that cost us finals. That cost us a ticket into finals. And then there was another round that, you know, our ramp totally broke. The servos stopped working. So we had to come back, we tried to fix it. It was very stressful because nobody was actually saying something. Like, we all knew the problems, but there were a couple people milling around. So the team captain and I were sort of like, you do this, you do that, we have 2 minutes, come on. Hey you, you're doing nothing. Go scout out teams. Stuff like that. It was very stressful and we were running all over the place, especially when we were queued up and had to make repairs to the robot. Because it is not at all an easy task to do that. I mean, yeah, it is not at all easy to be able to do that. There's one time we almost got disqualified because we forgot to change an alliance marker. So we had to send someone to quickly run back and get the sorry, I forget what I was saying, but it was a blast. It was incredibly stressful, and by the end my voice hurt from yelling, as bad as it sounds, yelling at my teammates. There were 11 people on our team, and only 4 could go up to the queuing area and touch the robot at a time. That's what made it so hard. So when we were our driver was doing an incredible job. Like, incredible. Unfortunately, he's not going to be here for our next competition. But he's trying to see if he can come. We need him. We honestly need him. But, I mean, it was a blast. This is not at all sponsored by First, but if you guys get a chance to go to compete on a First team, whether it's First Lego League, First Tech Challenge, which is FTC, or First Robotics Competition, which is FRC, you should do it. It's an incredible experience, and it gets more fun the greater the challenge is. So yeah. In the end, it was a blast, and it's good that we didn't make it to States. Because what happened last year was, the team was totally unprepared, but they made it to States. Now, you're probably asking, they made it to States, why is that a bad thing? Well, the reason it's a bad thing is because of the single fact of they made it to States. They made it to States and went, we made it to States, our robot must be perfect. So they didn't adjust anything, because it was extremely unreliable at the competition, and they got carried by another team. That's the only reason they went to States. And we carried a couple teams this time. But the thing is, if we had gotten to States, or the thing is last year, when they got to States, they didn't make any adjustments to the robot. They made no adjustments whatsoever. So their robot was just as unreliable. And you get to compete twice. There's a certain line that you have to compete. You have to compete under a certain line and above a certain line in terms of date-wise. And our first competition happened yesterday. Our second competition happens in about 2 months on February 8th. And we now know what we need to fix. We need to fix our hook, make a more reliable system. We need to fix our intake-outtake system. See if we're doing the same type of thing, or if we're building another hook and having a raising mechanism. And if we are keeping the ramp, we need to figure out a way to make it more stable, and a way to keep the servos working, or if we really want to, we could have a way to keep the, if we really wanted to, we could I lost my train of thought. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Now I see you all in the next video. Bye.